some can't really make too many overarching statements about our early view on text. So I get that quite. But just what is our early position? Like, oh, we set up that.
Can I just say, I only heard, I think, the first half of that question, and that was, do we have a sense of the equalities impact? Was that right?
Yeah, I mean, to over-summarise it, right,
just speak into the microphone.
If you insist, yeah. That was the first part, and the second part was just in terms of some of our early view on the outcomes. I took from what you were saying, that the short answer is, we don't quite know just yet. But I just wondered if there are like kind of final takeaways, just in summary, kind of say it.
Yeah. So, well, Catherine probably has more detail than me, but certainly there was an attempt, I think, early on to really get quite granular in terms of officers came up with a suggestion that really drilled down into trying to understand the makeup of the demographics of the people who are affected on, I think, certain roads, and maybe it was too in-depth a piece of work and would have taken too much resource. But it was interesting because, you know, there was a proposal to look at you know, household income and housing tenure and employment status, you know, so really kind of getting into the weeds of all of that stuff that you find on, you know, consumer bucketing websites like Mosaic or Experian. And so I think that was probably a resource issue at the time, but it's certainly a piece of work that should be done, because we should understand in a kind of as objective a way as possible who's winning and who's losing, because there are winners and losers, and see how that pans out from an equalities perspective. We do have some equalities impacts assessments that were conducted by, I can't remember what they were called, but anyway, we had a firm do those equality impact assessments, and people were asked their ethnicity, they were asked their sex, and all sorts of other things. And I think the feedback was that there was quite firm resistance, I think, from BAME communities, the elderly, and I think there's one page in the report. This is only the Dulwich scheme. I think I can't speak for the Wall scheme or anything else. But definitely the feedback from certain protected groups was not that positive. So I think that, you know, and I think in the report it does say that, you know, further work needs to be done on that. And obviously I would, you know, the whole paper is about advocating for that work to be done as a matter of course. And, you know, it's hugely important because we do want to get this right for everyone, and we do want to make sure that everybody benefits, and that you're not, you know, protected groups aren't negatively and disproportionately impacted. So that's my answer. Have I answered it, Peter? I've forgotten the second bit of your question. Certainly, Catherine has all the detail on what the feedback was from the survey, but we could do a lot more work, I think, at the beginning, really, to try and make sure that we're really teasing out that information, so we have a very good sense of what's going on. And again, it just comes back to giving the public confidence that we're doing the right thing, so that they can be happy with what we're doing on their behalf.
Okay. So, anything else? That's great. That's great. Quality stuff. On kind of progress in the early progress in the goals.
Do you want to come back on those? Just to be absolutely